So God's mercy and peace, beloved ones, from our God who created us, Jesus who walks alongside us, and the Spirit who never lets us go. I have shared with friends in these last few days that these are really unprecedented times for those of us serving everywhere and uniquely in the church as well, as we continue to pay attention to what's going on in the world around us, particularly as related to the coronavirus. Your leadership at First Lutheran Church has decided to suspend worship and other activities here in the congregation until further notice. This decision was not come too easily, but we feel it's important to do all that we can to keep the most vulnerable among us safe. And the only way we know to do that is for this time being to continue to be the body of Christ, but not to be the body of Christ right next to each other in the day-to-day, especially as we would normally gather on a Sunday morning or Wednesday night worship. Your congregation council is meeting this weekend to talk about next steps, both in relationship to these decisions and also to wonder together, plan together about how we can continue to be the body of Christ, not only for one another at First Lutheran, but for the sake of the larger community. We would invite you to pay attention to both to Facebook or to your email news or to the website, or even to call the church office and leave a message if you want more information about what those opportunities might be. If you or a family member or someone you know is in particular need in any way in the days and weeks to come, please reach out to us so that we can be of care for them as well. I know that in these days I'm sustained by the promises that have always carried us. I've lived deep in these last few days in the words of Paul's letter to the Romans, where it's promised that nothing can separate us from Christ's love. As I made a hospital call yesterday, I shared those powerful words from Isaiah, where God promises that when you pass through the waters, God goes with you, and all these things remain true. Whether we are beside one another or not, those promises carry us all. So please know, as we find our way through this time that we have never been in before, two things. God will use this time in powerful ways. We will not be worse for having gone through it as we do so together. The second thing is this, that though we are apart from one another, we continue to pray for each other. And I pledge to you my prayers, one and all, as we seek to listen for God's leading in all the ways we're called to care for one another. God bless you today and tomorrow and in all the days to come.